Hi guys, hello. Oh, I've got too much stuff in the way, way too much stuff in the way. So it has been a very busy day, productive in many ways, non-productive in others. I hope you're going to join me as you can see, I'm dressed for the part. We're going to make an Alabama wreath, roll tide, right? Except that I forgot I didn't have a wreath form, so I had to go make one. I'm going to take my easel. Do you see my easel? This is the easel that we make and sell. Tabletop, it's 32 inches high. You can adjust it with the various holes. Adjust your hook all the way down. It's got a chain that connects it, and it's such a slim silhouette. Watch this. Put this on. Do you see how you can go through the center on either side very easily to attach bows, embellishments, signs, anything? Whatever you need to attach, it's right there. Hi, Angela. How are you? I'm glad to have you here. I was just showing my easel, how easy it is to work with this easel, and say this is your wreath, and the silhouette is so narrow you can easily go through the whole of your wreath, and you can easily go around the sides and reach to the back. I'm always coming around the back of it because it's so narrow, and coming through and grabbing my wires and pulling them back that way. So it works really well. But we're going to take it down for right now and put it away. And I'm going to put on my trusty little apron so I don't ruin my Alabama shirt. Uh-oh. Did I pull it through? I didn't. Okay. So I think, is my iced tea over there? Oh, I left my tea in the other room. Shoot. I'm likely to get thirsty. Hopefully some other people will join us, and I will ask that you, since you're here alone, would you please like and share this video with your friends, and we can grow this thing, because that's how I'm going to reach that 1,000 followers and likes on my page and give away that gorgeous wreath that I'm giving away. And if you haven't seen that, then on my page, go ahead and sign up and see if you can win it. So I don't have any control over that. That's King Sumo. They get to pick the winners, and but they will. They'll do that here in a few days, and hopefully I will be at the 1,000, which is the whole purpose of the giveaway, is to thank everybody for getting me to that 1,000. So tonight, as I said, we're going to do an Alabama wreath. Now, this is an 18-inch wreath frame, and the reason I'm using the 18-inch is because this is my embellishment. And do you see how big this A is? This houndstooth checked A for Alabama is just so big that I needed a bigger wreath frame. So what I've done, you can still see some of the glue. This is 18-inch, and so I've used my pipe cleaners, 6 millimeter, never smaller, because they're just too thin and they won't work well. They'll break on you. So I've got 12 around the outside, 10 around the inside, so I've got a total of 22 as opposed to the 18 that you typically have when you use a 24-inch or 15-inch frame. Oh my gosh, I just realized how bushy I am. I'm getting a haircut Friday. I can hardly wait. So this is the mesh that we're going to use. Let me see if I can point my camera a little bit. There, you can just barely see it right here. This mesh, the phone rings. So this is the mesh we're going to use. And then I'm also going to use this 10-inch mesh. And that's what and I've got my ribbons already cut. I have the black and white. This reminded me of referees' uniforms, their shirts, you know, the stripes, or even the yards on the field. And then this is the houndstooth check with the glittery A for Alabama. This is the houndstooth check ribbon here in 2.5-inch wide with the red trim, and then I've got the red and white stripe also. So we will be using these in every other, or every, well, I'll swap them back, as you know, probably. I'll use a 2.5-inch and a 1.5-inch ribbon on one tail, and then I'll alternate with the same size on another. Hi, Leslie, how are you? Oh, I can hardly wait to get to meet you, lady. I'm going up to meet my dear friends that I've had on Facebook for years in Iowa, and in August we're going up to up to Missouri, heading over to Topeka for a World Card Association race, and I've arranged to head a little bit north of the St. Louis area and meet some friends of mine from Iowa, and I can hardly wait. I am so excited to see them. I've met a lot of Facebook friends in person now through the years, and they have become some of my dearest friends, and friendships I wouldn't trade for anything. So we're going to get started with this. Oh, I got to tell you a little bit about it. Now, I like Alabama, okay? When I moved here as a child. I was a Boeing brat, and we moved here in the year 1963, which was quite a pivotal year. I was 10, and so we moved here, and of course had to go to school and all that. But anyway, my father immediately established a rivalry with my uncle who lived in Omaha. Well, and not only that, my dad is also from Oklahoma, from Bonita, Oklahoma. So he had a lot of family in Oklahoma. So we had Alabama, Nebraska, and Oklahoma, all Big Reds. And we had a three-way rivalry with the football teams. And right at that time, those three teams seemed to always be on top. And so they spent a lot of time sending telegrams back and forth to one another. It was kind of fun. And once when I was expecting my son, I went up to Omaha. Well, I think the game was actually in Lincoln. And I lived in Alabama, but we were visiting in Kansas. And we went up to a football game and got to see Alabama and Nebraska play. And Alabama won that game. And of course, all the oranges hit the field. It was really fun. So anyhow, now my little granddaughters have dear friends of theirs and whose parents both graduated from Auburn. So they fancy themselves to be big Auburn fans. And so a couple years ago, I took them to see Santa Claus for Christmas, and we were standing in line. And for some reason, I just said, "Roll Tide." And my oldest granddaughter, River, looked at me and she says, "Oh, no, Mimi, we're Auburn fans. War Eagle." So we always have this fun teasing going on between us. And but I had a sister that graduated from University of Alabama, and another sister who attended there, but didn't. She ended up graduating from Wichita State. So we're going to start. And as you can see, I need to roll the camera down so you can see. So bear with me. I can't reach. I have short arms. So I'm going to go right down. Oh, that should be a good angle. If you look behind, you'll see all this purple stuff. I was going to do a purple mesh wreath and just decided, no, I really wanted to do the Alabama. Everybody's doing the fall thing. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cecilia. Hi, Lori. So everybody's doing the fall thing, and they're all doing Halloween, and some are doing Thanksgiving, and some are doing Christmas. I thought, oh, what the heck, I'll do football. So here we go. So as you can see, I've turned the ends under at the very beginning. That's so that my edges will kind of roll under as I go around. We're going to do this in the poof method with this. I love this mesh, but even though it's very pretty, it's not super thick. So I'm going to do other things on top of it too. So first thing I'm going to do is tie this mesh down. I'm going to go right next to this tie here, and we're going to tie it down with a zip tie. And I always want it to be super, wouldn't you know? Well, shoot. I've done this more than once this weekend. This week, put a cable tie on and closed it up and didn't have it attached to the frame. So we're going to try again. So here we go. It has been a day. And a night, I should say, because I didn't sleep last night. And I had an aura migraine. And if y'all don't know what those are, because I didn't until I experienced them, there's no pain with them, but you have other things. And other manifestations, and for me it was blurred vision. And my eyes drove me nuts all day. I kept trying to clean my glasses, and it wasn't my glasses, it was just my eyes. And so that had me just kind of, I did it again. Oh my gosh, I had never done this twice before. Twice in a row. Oh, Steve, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I think, hi, Sue. Can you believe? I have now zip tied to nothing twice. And I've never done that, so maybe my eyes are still affected. This is just crazy. I need to get my wire cutters. Okay, why is it? Paige Bless, thank you so much, Sue, thank you. Yes, everybody, there's a little 4-letter word that starts with an L. And if you all would click on that, I would appreciate it. And then just over to the right of that, there's another little 5-letter word that starts with SH. And I would appreciate it if you would click on that and follow the instructions that it says to do there too. And I'm really trying to grow my page. This video will be loaded up to my YouTube channel. And so I'll be sending the link to that. And hopefully we'll be growing that as well. So, success, yay. Okay, because this is an 18-inch frame, and I don't want a wreath that's so big that it won't fit on a door, so I'm only going to do 10-inch poufs. And believe me, with an 18-inch frame, 10-inch poufs is going to be more than enough, especially after we add in all the ruffles that we're going to add. So, here we go. Now, when you use your pipe cleaners, it's always a good idea to give it one extra little twist because they are a little bit weaker than the ties on the work frames that you buy at Old Time Pottery. I use that because that's where I buy mine. When I can get them right now, they don't have very many colors. I think they had yellow, orange, and pink. So, but usually I make my own, but I do like those frames. And they are an inch bigger than the ones that I make. So, okay, I'm going to scroll down here. Someday I'm going to have a method where I can just see my comments without having to scroll down. Hi, Casey. Oh, really? Awesome, awesome. From Alabama. I'm too funny. I've been accused of that before. My mom always says that she said, I don't know what it is, but no matter what situation we're in, you can always find something to laugh about it. And she says, you always make me laugh. And that's getting harder and harder to do with my mom because she can't hear very well, so I have to repeat things. So by the time you've repeated them 2 or 3 times, they kind of lost their funny. But anyway, if you can't find fun in life, I don't think it's much worth living, you know. And even though I can take it pretty seriously, and I do, a lot of people think I take life really seriously, but I'm always laughing. And I can tell, look at all those laugh lines. You can see them big time. Oh, thank you, Casey. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate seeing that SH word there. That's super cool. It makes me feel good. Yeah, Alabama. It's known, the houndstooth has become, the black and white houndstooth has become as symbolic with Alabama as probably as the Crimson Tide. And of course, I guess most of you know that came from the hat that Bear Bryant, who was the major #1 coach of Alabama, wore. And he was actually the coach when I lived here as a kid. And we love the Bear. We absolutely love the Bear. Now they've got Nick Saban, and he's a pretty doggone good coach. But I don't get to follow it as much as I did before because I live with somebody who loves NASCAR. So we're always doing the NASCAR thing, which I had never done before. But it's kind of fun too. Oh dear. I go to scroll down and it scrolls up instead. Anna, thank you. Isn't it pretty? It really is. Teresa, roll, tide, roll. You got it. This really is pretty, and it's actually making really pretty poofs. Can you see? And after I'm going to use this snowball mesh to make some ruffles. And after I do that, it's going to be a really full wreath, and I think it'll be really pretty. I needed to do something to bring out a little more red. And but I got this. I have another couple rolls of this, and I got it in some 10-inch too. But we'll see. I think Lori used this to make a bee wreath that was just adorable. I'm pretty sure her mesh was about like this. So if y'all don't know, Lori Jenkins is my mentor. I'm a member of her business group and her wreath therapy on steroids group, which is the design group. And so I'm a member of both, and have met some incredibly wonderful people through both groups, and learned a lot, but I have a long way to go. But if any of you are interested in having some tutelage on how to have a home-based business in do it yourself, it doesn't have to be wreaths. It can be centerpieces, floral arrangements, wedding flowers, bath salts, anything. Then you can't get better than Lori Jacobs. She has wonderful, wonderful videos on how to do things, how to use social media, which I use social media a lot, but I sure didn't know how to use it to market a business. And so she's really great. Okay, now I've gone around the outside, so I'm going to bring this straight in like this. As you can see, where I tied this, got this poof, you cannot even tell where I began the roll. So now we're going to go up here to the upper frame, and again, I'm going to tie it down. I'm going to take it at an angle. So I'm going to tie it down right by that zip. I'm going to zip tie it right by that pipe cleaner, and we'll do the same thing up above. And see, I almost didn't catch the frame with this again. I'm going to have to buy stock in these cable ties if I keep having to break them off and start over. Anyhow, I went to the University of Alabama in Huntsville, and for my freshman and half my sophomore years, and then moved back to Wichita, which is my home, and then went to Wichita State. So Wichita State doesn't have a football team. They have a great basketball team called the Shockers. And my parents were real big into basketball. And every year, my dad would buy the extra cable channel just through basketball season so they could watch all the Shocker games. And then as soon as it was all over, which to me seems like never, they'd cancel that channels package, and because they didn't need it anymore, you know. That's all they did was watch basketball. So, but the Shockers used to have a great basketball team. I know one of my shows I wanted to see wasn't on last night because of basketball, and it's like, come on, it's the middle of the year. Shouldn't basketball be over with by now? I'm not a fan. Got a lot done? Oh, hi. Hi, Carla. I bet Rita's there with you. I am so jealous. For all of you, I'm trying to sort of measure my poofs a little bit, and I'm lost under this huge wreath. Carla and Rita, I bet you are whipped. And Carla was getting another, 15 rolls or 20 rolls of mesh from me. I hope you left room for it. Anyway, Carla and Rita are two of my dearest friends, and Rita drove up to visit Carla in Utah. Now, Rita lives down in Texas, and she drove up, and she didn't tell anybody where she was going, stinker. And she went up there to organize Carla. Okay, now you know you both have to come here and organize me, right? You know, but mine's a challenge because I have no room. So it would be a huge challenge, but oh boy, do I have the space. And y'all come here and organize me, and then we'll get in the hot tub and rest our weary bones, and or get in the pool and have a good time. Doesn't that sound like fun? And anybody else who likes to organize craft rooms is welcome to come join me and help me do it, because frankly, I have no room. And my creativity is limited to creations like this, not to creative storage ideas. So, as I was telling everybody earlier, this is an 18-inch. You're hiding. You're hiding there. You're hiding them. You're going to hide the mesh. It should be getting there any day. It should be there while you're still there. So this is an 18-inch work frame, and I've got 22 ties. And so it's going to be a honking big wreath. And I intended to get the bow made beforehand, but that didn't happen because I got stuck on a phone call and had to handle a lot of my mother's business for her. So sometimes I get these calls that are just unavoidable. You need a craft. Well, Teresa, I did ribbons today. You can't have any more anything. Did she ask you to give her some to go home with? Because I know she's needing some. Did she say, okay, I've done all this work, now share the wealth? And she's right. Everybody says, you can't have any more, Carla. You're worse than I am by far. Anyway, what I started to tell you, for my craft room, I am on the eat-in side of the kitchen, which has never been used for eating in. But the only reason we know is for that purpose is because there's a light here that was intended to go over the table. We've now turned it into a ceiling fan. And there's a door to the garage and a door to the backyard. And then there's these French doors to the sunroom and a window. Then there's a door to the dining room, and then the other half here behind this banner behind me is my kitchen, which, for what it's worth, if you could call it a kitchen. But at any rate, all I have is this little eat inside with no wall space. And so now I've got these ribbon racks that are sitting in front of the doors, sitting in front of windows. I've got racks on the walls. You would be amazed. I've got things scattered. I've got racks over there with mesh, racks on the floor behind me with mesh. I've got wine racks with mesh. You name it, I've got it everywhere. Up over a window, I've got frames hanging from a curtain rod because there's no curtain. I took the curtain down so I could hang my frames from the rod, and it's a mess. But I managed to make it work for right now anyway. Okay, so, ooh, this is pretty. This is really pretty. I didn't realize how pretty this was, by golly. Look at this, guys. Isn't that pretty already? Okay, so now I'm going to cut it off. I don't want to use my ribbon scissors. Oh, here they are. These scissors need sharpening too, or replacing. So I'm going to cut that off. Roll that up. My neat little nifty mesh roller that my darling, the love of my life, the darling man in my life made for me. And okay, so here we go. So I pull this to the other side. Cable tie definitely through the frame. I'm not going to do that again. Twice in one sitting is enough, don't you think? So I know you can't see me because I'm behind this honking wreath, but I'll be right back. And then we're going to cut this red snowball, or I guess it's snowball mesh. And okay, there we go. I thought I missed it again. I'm using the black zip ties because of the darker mesh. I'm going to cut off this excess here that I don't need. And there we go. So now, what I tell you, we have 22 ties. So I need 22 ruffles. Because see how see-through it is? Even though it's a very pretty mesh, it's pretty see-through. So I'm going to go through and put a ruffle in every one of these ties. So in order to do that, I got to cut them. And so I've got my little easel behind me on the floor here. So I'm going to hang my wreath from my easel. And we're going to do this really quickly. Where did I find this mesh? Yeah, the wine racks make great mesh racks. I believe I picked this up. I'm sure I picked it up at Sims Pottery, and that's why I got so much. And that because that's all. Is that right? No. Yeah, I got the mesh at Sims. I got the A's at a place called Rodin's, which is about an hour and a half from my house, and it's a small wholesale house. And I bought a dozen of these, so I had to get extra mesh so I could make a dozen Alabama wreaths, or I'll sell some A's. So whichever one works is what I will do. But these collegiate wreaths seem to be really popular, so I figured I need to get in on that fun. So, okay, I have a lot of these rolls of this mesh, and I used it for Valentine's Day, and I'll be using it for Christmas. I need to find something to weigh that down. Those ribbons are going to blow away on me. So I'm going to cut this. Let's see what, oh, I need to even up my edge. Got to start with clean edge. So I think I'm going to cut these at 20. That should make a nice ruffle. So I need 22 of them. When y'all help me count now. 4, 5, 6, 7. I just cut right through that. Okay. Back to 7. I may have to turn the fan off. 8. What I like about this mesh is that it doesn't fray. So, I mean, it just frays so little, so it's going to make some nice ruffles. If it was a high fraying mesh, I would be doing woodland ruffles, which I did a couple of days ago on a silly little flamingo wreath I just made and posted. And I really like the look of it, but boy, they take a long time. And to do it on an 18-inch frame, yeah, Mary, I got the wine rack from Mary, my daughter-in-law, and my son, and it is full. Okay, so now I lost count, but I know this wasn't 22. And this last piece will definitely work for one of them. I take the tape off. They put this tape on it, it makes it hard to get off. Okay. I was too busy yakking and I lost count. That wine rack holds an awful lot. Yeah, that's a lot of tails. Where did I get what? Where did I get what, Yvonne? Hi from Oklahoma. Hi, Wendy. My dad was born in Bonita. 16. What? Oh, 16? You were counting with me? Awesome. Thank you. Oh, now I'll get another roll, and I'll know exactly how many more I need, right? I love it. Thank you, Antoinette. And Portia counted 2. Yay, thank you guys. Okay. Well, you know what? I am not going to load this one on my wreath on that roller. I'm just going to cut. So, but I do have to start with clean the edge. Okay. So I just need 6 more. I got great viewers here watching me. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. My mountain of mesh. There we go. 6, right? That's what you said. 16 and 6 is 22. Okay, this is such a mess. And I have nowhere to go with it, as you guys know, because, okay, I'm just going to stick it all over here. I'm going to pull my wreath back up here. And we're going to start making ruffles and putting them in. Okay, put my wreath. It fell right back out at me. My organizer's spitting on me. Okay, so what is nice about this is you can always find a good middle to gather up with, but I always like to weight it at the end. It just makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to put my scissors there, and I'm just going to start right in the middle and just gather it up. It's nice when you have those little metallic strips that you can follow. And then you know you have a nice perfect little bow there. And so we're just going to lay that right down in there. And I don't have to open the ties, because when you use pipe cleaners, you've got plenty of room there. And twist that around. And then I'm just going to shape it into a pretty little, almost like a little flower. And boy, that's going to bring out the crimson for that crimson tide, I do believe. So see, oh, there. See it there? So we're just going to do all the same. Sometimes when I do these wreaths, I'll alternate. I'll have one color here, another color there. But since I really wanted to focus on the red, I just decided that I would stay completely with the red. Of course, I like the white. I wanted to use the snowball just to bring out a little white, because I have some white in the ribbons. So that works. So what kind of projects are you guys working on? I have got to get out into my garage and pull in all my fall and winter stuff. More comments, new comments. What length did I cut my ruffle? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have told you. I thought I did 20 inches. You do the same thing. I think a lot of us do a lot of the same things. Now, when I do the woodland ruffle, I cut them at 34 usually. That's not one I do a lot, and but boy, did it make a great big flamingo wreath though, with all that. The woodland ruffles yesterday, I only had I had a 15-inch work frame, and then I did the woodland ruffles. I did 12-inch poufs, and then the woodland ruffles, and then I did 14-inch ties, and boy, was that a big honking wreath. And I usually try to stay between around 10 inches on my poufs, and then 12 inches on my tails. Hi, Melissa from the East. Oh my gosh, my ribbons are sticking. From the East where? From East Tennessee. Yay! You know what I just ordered? I just ordered a Tennessee sign. Home sweet Tennessee home. What is a woodland ruffle? Okay, well, now that you asked, I'll show you. We're going to pretend this was 34 inches, right? Okay, and so what you would do to make a woodland ruffle is you would take this, and what I do is I fold in my ends and fold over my raw edge, and then I start rolling, and I roll it up about 4 times, and then I'm looking for a chip clip. You gotta have a clip. So I clip that, and then I turn it around, and I do the same thing here. I fold in my edges, fold over my raw edge, and then I roll it. Again, it's about 4 times. And then you just ruffle it up between those two, and then you have a woodland ruffle. So it's part curl, part ruffle, and there you go. Some people call it a cruffle, but the correct name for it is a woodland ruffle. And so, hi Robin, you're working on a wreath for your hairdresser? Oh, that is so sweet. I made one for my nail tech. Her favorite color was blue, and so my man made her a blue sign that said, let's see, oh, Maria Nails it. Yeah, it just she wanted a little bitty wreath to hang over her station. And so anyway, so I'm back to my ruffles here, and I don't know what I did here. Okay, here we go. The woodland ruffle is a very nice thing to use if you've got mesh that frays, because you curl, you roll under those edges. And hi Jennifer, oh my gosh, I'm loving all these people coming in tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, and for, you know what, blessing my page. And oh heck, I love it when we share with one another and like things with one another, and it's super nice that we can do that. Anyhow, as I said, the woodland ruffle is it's designed to be, I think 34 to 36 inches works the best for it. And but you don't have raw edges when you turn them in like that. And of course, then you have the curls. But this makes such a pretty ruffle, and I didn't really need the curls, and it's not fraying. I wish you could see how nice this mesh is, because it really is not fraying at all. And boy, is it adding a lot of red too. It's a good thing I bought enough of this stuff for Christmas too to hold me, because I have a feeling I'm going to be using this quite a bit. I didn't get to use it last year much. Roll Tide, roll. Oh, hi from Mobile. You know what? You live down not too awful far, I believe, from Spike's. If you're not familiar with Spike's, it's a wholesale down. Actually, I think it's somewhere near Enterprise or Dothan. And I buy from them, but they don't have a website. The only way to buy from them is to go to their Facebook page, and then you send them messages, and they send you back pictures and prices, and you order through Messenger. It's kind of a crazy way to order from a wholesale house, but that's how they do it. But they have quite a store that I want to go visit, but it's about, oh, probably 5.5 to 6 hours for me to get down there. So it's a little easier for me just to order through Messenger. But since you're down there, you ought to go visit. It's called Spike's, just like Spike Lee, you know. And they have some really neat stuff. And it's not just for wreaths. It's for crafts and home decor and all kinds of stuff. And I really want to get down there. On June 1st every year, they have all their flowers that will fit under their tent for $1. And I was hoping to get down there, but I didn't. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, gosh, I've got so many neat people to say hello to. You're still learning? Oh, we're always still learning, Melissa, every day. Joanne just had benign brain surgery. Oh, my gosh. That just happened to my letter carrier. She finally just got back. She's been off for weeks and weeks, well, months actually. And I didn't even find out until, well, her sub was doing a poor job, and I had to go visit with the postmaster. And so I went in, and that's when I found out that she had that. Thank God it was benign. Oh, hi, Sandra. Oh, you love this method. This is cool. You know, I will say, I think the puff ruffle, tickled myself. I think the poof ruffle is my favorite. I think it makes one of the fullest, prettiest wreaths, and it just gives such a pretty finish to the outside edge. I just really do like it. So I'm glad you're liking it too. Puff ruffle. That's a new one. I should invent something with that name, huh? It's just like people are always making new bows. And you know what? I don't even remember the name. The Lisa bow or the, I don't know. I got them mixed up and get them backwards anyway. Dixie, am I in Utah? No, I'm down in Huntsville, Alabama. But my dear friend Carla's in Utah, and my friend Casey's in Utah, and my dear friend Rita from Midland, Texas is up in Utah with Carla right now. And I like Utah. I haven't been there in many years, but I like it. This is not a super fine mesh. It's not super thick or stiff. It's just stiff enough to have body and just stiff enough to be not as easy to ruffle as some, but it's not really difficult. But it shapes just beautifully, as you can see. It's sticking to the other mesh. So can you see now what a big honking wreath this is going to be? That 18-inch, yeah, it makes a big wreath. But that's a big A, see? See that big A? And that's going to fit right in there really well, don't you think? Only thing is I had a little football that I was going to put in here, and I can't find it. I don't know where I put it. So I think this wreath is not going to have a football. But I do have some football ribbon. It doesn't match the rest, but it's football ribbon, so we'll see. We'll see how it works. It won't go for the ties for sure. This is so cool that I am not having any problem with my internet connection tonight. It's a long drive. Oh, it was a real long drive for Rita. Oh, for me to go down to Spike's is a long drive too. Oh, thank you. Sports wreaths for Father's Day. You sold 2, Anna? You know what? I didn't even think of it. Oh, that's awesome. You know what? I have a gorgeous bee wreath I made that was it was quite different than anybody else's, and it hasn't sold. So I think that I'm just not getting enough traffic to my Etsy store. And speaking of my Etsy store, when y'all go to Etsy and look for my store, it's Cowling Loving Design with no S on the end. And I would appreciate it if you go and favorite my shop there. And I'm really confused with Etsy because when I go to my insights there, it says I've had no sales, which is not true. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I honestly don't know what they're doing. But I have sold on my Etsy store, but I'm not getting enough traffic. So I would appreciate some more traffic there. And y'all can look and see what I've done too, because I've got quite a few listed. And right now, like I said, I have my King Sumo giveaway.